Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lunchtime Yoga with me, Miss Mar from My Little Light Yoga. Today, we're going to start in our chair. This is our fourth week, I believe, of our classes here on Wednesdays at noon. So let's just take a moment to sit in the calm. Just gently close the eyes or cast the eyes downward. We'll begin our class with the bell. I will ring the bell 3 times, focusing on the sound of the bell as we bring our attention inward. Taking some nice deep breaths in and equal exhalations. Thinking in your mind, inhale and exhale. Just pushing aside anything that happened prior to the class starting and pushing away anything that needs to happen after we finish. Focusing on the here and the right now. And really bringing your attention inward, feeling the breath inhalation deep down into the belly. And then as we exhale, feel the belly lower towards the spine. Calming the breath and calming the mind. And just focusing on the next half hour. Gently blinking the eyes open if they've closed. And let's begin. Starting with some shoulder rolls. Bringing the shoulders up towards the ears. Push the shoulders back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then let them release. A couple more times. Inhale up. Pressing. And release. 2 more times. Inhale up. Press. And release. And 1 last time. Relaxing those shoulders. We're going to take that motion actually and bring it around the other direction. So now taking those shoulders and pressing them back, the chest opens up. Bring them up to the shoulders and then let them fall forward. Pushing the shoulders back, rounding up towards the ears, and then letting them fall. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 1 more inhale and exhale. Trying to see if you can place the feet on the ground as flat as they'll go. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to actually take the neck and rotate the neck in 2 different directions, but really focusing on lengthening this muscle here. For those of us that work on computers, or maybe if we work with small children, we end up doing this a lot. And that's not really good for us. Sorry, there's a bug in my vision here. But that's not really good for us. So we just want to make sure and pay attention to those muscles, make sure that we really try and lengthen those muscles. Okay, so what happens is when we get a tight feeling in our neck, it's because that muscle has shortened, right? We get all tensed up and then the muscle's really short. So we really need to focus on bringing those shoulder blades down and stretching out that muscle here. So take a deep breath in our nice seated position as nice and tall as the spine can be. Imagine that there's a string that's actually pulling your head up towards the ceiling, wherever you are, indoors or outdoors. I'm outside of my lanai, so listening to the birds, listening and feeling the breeze, And maybe you can focus on some of your senses as well, no matter where you are. Maybe the sights and sounds and smells around you. Maybe even the sound of, and maybe an air conditioner kicking on, or sound of keyboard if you're working in an office. Just paying attention to those senses, really tuning everything out, just really paying attention. So as we sit up nice and tall in our chairs, just take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, go ahead and take that right ear towards the right shoulder. And maybe play with this a little bit. I like to try and just shift my head a tiny bit in this stretch, because then I really, really focus on what area of my neck needs a little bit of attention. And if I'm aware of where I need to spend some attention, then hopefully I take the time to send that attention there, right? To direct my attention there. And throughout the day, you can take this pose and take this movement with the neck. And even what we did with the shoulders, just moving throughout the day. Set a timer on your phone. Every hour, stand up, move around. If you're seated, go ahead and just do some of these stretches. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, let the head fall forward. Really stretching out the back of the neck and that cervical spine. Maybe you shift the head a little bit. No. Shake the head. Yes. You can really feel stretch in the back of the neck now. Taking a deep breath in. Let's go ahead and take that left ear to left shoulder. That feels a little bit tighter to me on this side today. Maybe just shifting, shaking the head now. Shaking the head, yes. It's really feeling all of those muscles that are in the back of our neck and the sides of our neck and the front of our neck. Take one more deep breath in. And as we exhale, let the head fall back. Stretching out the front of the neck. Maybe pushing the jaw forward. Really feeling that stretch. That part of the neck is not one we generally pay too much attention to, but when you're looking up and you're able to, just push that jaw forward and see if you can really stretch the front of the neck. And as you sit in these poses, maybe the ear comes closer to the shoulder. When we're reaching side to side, maybe the head comes down further, looking towards the belly as we're looking down. And maybe in this pose, the neck is able to drop back even further as the chest lifts towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and come back to center. We'll reverse the direction. We're going to move with the breath this time. Actually, we'll move slowly this first time, and then we'll take it with the breath. So on the next deep breath in, inhale, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, bring that ear to the left shoulder. And maybe it feels a little bit different than the first time we did this. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you still need to do some work today. Every hour on the hour. Deep breath in. And as we exhale, let the head fall forward. Maybe trying to bring the chin closer to the chest this time around. On the inhale, exhale, taking that left ear to left shoulder. Oh, that feels so good. One more deep breath in. And exhale and let that head fall back. I don't want my microphone to fall off. Inhaling back to center. I find myself doing a lot of yawning in this pose, and it's mostly just like trapped energy, trapped oxygen that needs to kind of get let out. And as I move my neck, I just always find myself yawning, and you might find the same. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that you're going to fall asleep at your desk, although you might. But this is why we get up and we move. We pay attention to those muscles because there's a lot trapped there. So take one more deep breath in as we sit up nice and tall. And we're going to move with the breath as we exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, exhale, looking down. Inhale. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, looking back. Reversing the direction. Inhale. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, looking down. Inhale. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, looking back. Inhale. Then exhale back to center. Just take a few shoulder rolls, one direction. Nice and quick here. And then reversing. Bringing the arms up, straight up overhead for a shoulder stretch. And I'll move my chair back so that you can see full motion, full expression of this pose. So I'm sitting up nice and tall in my chair. As I inhale, the arms come straight up. See if you can push the arms back a little bit so that's actually out of your peripheral vision. So as I'm looking forward, my arms aren't here. I'm really working on opening up the shoulders and working on stretching the shoulders. So seeing how far back those arms can go. I can slightly see this arm here as I kind of look on my periphery. Really strengthening and lengthening. Taking a few deep breaths here. One more. One last inhale and exhale. Release those arms. Scooching myself back up. I'm going to take some seated side bends. So going ahead and grasping the right hand, sorry, I'll mirror, the right hand on the left shoulder, the left wrist. Taking a deep breath in, go ahead and inhale all the way up. And as you exhale, fall to the right. Really trying to look under that arm. So the chest is open, the arms are back, and looking up under that armpit. Maybe your gaze goes up towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming up to center. Exhale. One more inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Take that side bend. Inhaling and exhaling here. On your next inhale, back up to center. Exhale, let that air out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fall one last time to our right. Inhale and exhale. Back to center. Inhale and exhale. Release. Now you might feel some tightness in the shoulders. I certainly do. Go ahead and just move them a little bit organically, whatever feels nice to you. Maybe shaking those arms, getting all those fluids down into the joints. And we're going to do the other side. Yay, that one actually is a nice, I'm noticing where the tightness is in my shoulders, and you might as well. So as much as I don't want to do the other side, I know that I have to, because I know that I'm going to find the same kinds of sensations and feelings and tingling spots on the other side. So taking a deep breath in, we're going to crisscross the hands again, this time taking the left hand onto the right wrist. Inhale, bring those arms up. Lengthen, and as we exhale, slowly fall to the left. Looking up under that armpit, making sure that the chest is open. I'm not trying to do this and bend myself all over and then turn my head. I'm actually turning, lifting my entire body as I shift my chest, my gaze, my chin. Everything's shifting towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale. One deep inhale. Exhale, fall to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fall. Nice little side bend here. Feeling that stretch all the way down into the hip. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, go ahead and release. Oh, lots of tingles there too. Go ahead, shake it out. Oh, let's take a few shoulder rolls. Really working on those shoulders today, the shoulder and the neck. Maybe alternating one forward and then reversing, almost as if you're swimming in a crawl, front crawl. All right, taking a nice little seated twist here. You're welcome to turn sideways in the chair if that's helpful for you. I'm going to stay seated forward, and then on the other side, I'll show you the twist on the side so that you can just see what it looks like. Taking a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall in the chair, we're going to take that right hand and place it on the left knee, and then reach with that left arm behind us. And then gently turning the gaze to look over the shoulder. You can press into that knee as we lengthen. And as we exhale, see if you can twist a little further. This pose right here is going to help us when we're driving, when we need to be able to turn and look directly behind us. So this is not just meant to kind of move the spine in all different directions. This is really meant to help support us as we age and help support us being able to turn and look behind us for anything that might be in the way, anything that could cause danger to us or pose a threat. Take a deep breath in and exhale, release. We'll take the other side. So as we inhale, sitting up nice and tall, go ahead and place that left hand on the right knee. That right arm is going to sweep around behind us. Take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, twisting to look over the side. Now, as I turn to the side, you'll see that I'm actually trying to twist my entire body, the upper part of my back. My hips and my knees are still facing forward. I'm using my hand at the edge of my chair to get that nice deep twist. And my eyes are going to look way over here over my shoulder. Really trying to get as much of a spinal twist as well as my neck. We've warmed it all up now. We should be able to see how far we can look behind us. And if you notice that it's not as far as you thought, just keep working on it. This is a pose that as you continue to do it, your progress will get better and better. Go ahead and release. Taking some seated cat-cow poses here, and I'll turn sideways for this one. Sometimes it's easier to see in my side body what's happening. So taking your hands and placing them at the front seat of your chair, we're going to gently press into the chair as we lift the chest. The back is going to arch, and the eyes, nose, and chin look up towards where the ceiling meets the wall. And as we exhale, go ahead and release that pull on the hands. We're going to pull the belly towards the spine and then gently let the head drop. Tucking the chin towards the chest to get that nice big stretch. Inhale, chest, chin, nose, eyes, everything looks up. And as we exhale, pulling everything towards the spine, rounding the back. One last time, inhaling, pressing into that chair, arching the back. And as we exhale, pulling the belly towards the spine. Coming back on up to center. Let's go ahead and do a forward fold. I'll try this one from the side as well. So on the inhale, the arms are going to come up towards the ears. Really pull those arms back so that we can't really see the arms. I can just barely see this edge of my arm. Take a deep breath in, lengthen. And as you exhale, coming down the center and bringing your hands down towards your feet, letting the whole body fall forward. Let the head go. Release the hands, just let them hang. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Your head's going to be the very last thing to come up. Just taking it slow. Moving with such gentle slowness. And then gently just sit here with the eyes closed for just a moment. Taking a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. I'll swing back around. Let's go ahead and do a seated hip opener. Okay, so because we're seated a lot, this muscle here in the front of the hip gets real tight. So let's try and work on that as well. And so this is a good one you can do just in the middle if you're sitting in a meeting sometimes. If the table's above you, no one can see what you're doing here, and you can really work on stretching out that muscle even though you're seated most of the day, if you're especially working in an office job on a computer. So go ahead and pick up the right leg. You can use your hands to help you. And place the ankle on top of the left knee. You can take that opposite hand and just press into the knee a tiny bit. See if you can actually tilt the entire leg down so that you can see the bottom of your foot. And you can also feel free to give yourself a little foot massage. Just work your thumb into the arch of the foot, into the base of the toes. Sometimes we forget to pay attention to our feet when we're seated because we're not standing on them, right? So it's kind of like, oh, I don't worry about it. But give yourself a nice little foot massage, just running that thumb up and down through the arch of the foot, releasing some of those muscles. Making sure that you're sitting up nice and tall. We're really trying to angle that knee down. If you were seated on your mat, you could definitely do this in a crisscross yoga sauce, right? Making sure that the knee is trying to touch the mat. Or maybe even sitting up on a bolster so that the hips can open and the knees can come down. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Go ahead and release that side. And we'll do the other side. Gently. Sometimes I need my hand to help to get my leg up there. It's okay. As I'm aging, lots of things are just not feeling as supple as they used to and not moving as fast, right? And that's okay. I'm just moving gently. I'm going to have less chance of an injury that way, right? So making sure that we sit up nice and tall. That foot, see if you can dip that knee down. You can use the hand to guide it so that you can then see the bottom of the foot. And again, see if you can take that thumb and just run up and down the arch of the foot. Nice, that feels so good. We don't pay attention much to our feet till they bother us, right? So just reminding yourself, like, this is a body part too that needs some extra work and extra love. Even though I'm seated a lot of my day, if you're at a computer, you know, those feet do also get you places, right? So let's pay attention to them. Let's give them some love. Take a deep breath in. And go ahead and release that foot. Now I'm going to turn my chair backwards because we're going to do another hip opener. So my chair is now backwards, and I'll go sideways so that you can see. I'm going to sit in my chair backwards and then gently try and see if I can bring the soles of my feet together. I can use my hands on the chair to pull my body closer to the back of the chair. And maybe even be able to scooch my hips a little bit further towards the bottom of the chair. Really working on opening those hips. Take a deep breath in. Nice and long, lean back. and exhale. One last inhale. And one last exhale. Nice. So since my chair is turned sideways, I'm going to actually do just a quick little stretch here. And this one is a really good one for if you've been standing for a while. You just need to stretch out your back. You can go ahead and place your hands on the back of your chair, and your feet are just below your hips, and gently fall forward. Really trying to keep that back nice and straight as if you're a figure 7. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One last breath in and a deep breath out. Coming back on up to our standing position. This time I'm going to take my right foot, actually my left, I'm mirroring. Okay, my right foot is directly underneath my hip. So go ahead and extend that leg out. I'll just take a quick hamstring stretch here. Reaching for those toes. You can try and reach both legs towards, or both hands towards that foot. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Standing on up, bend that knee, and now we're going to reach for the toes. Okay, one hand is on the knee, opening up the hip. The other is reaching for the toes and the floor. And if you don't reach the floor, that's okay. This is just as much of a hip opener, isn't it? Even if I'm not touching the ground. So we're working on opening this hip that's on the bent chair. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Switching sides. Okay, that leg is up on the chair. Turning the hips towards that extended leg and reaching with both hands. Now, if your hands are only here, that's okay. You're still getting this nice stretch in the back of the leg. Stretching out that hamstring. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Bending that leg, opening up this hip, okay? So keeping that hand on the knee as we reach for the floor. And again, if you don't reach all the way to the floor, that's okay. Really what we're working on is opening this hip. You can even take the hand and press the knee away from you just a tiny bit more. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and release. We're going to come back to our chair for our seated Shavasana. Just really focusing on the breath. Thanking yourself for taking this little half hour to move your body, move your muscles, stretch things out a little bit, and maybe give yourself a little mental break. Sitting quietly in your chair. And maybe just thinking inside your mind, inhale and exhale, and let all the other thoughts go. We'll sit quietly here for several breaths, and I'll ring the bell when we're finished. Slowly blinking the eyes open if they're closed. Bringing our hands up to our heart center. Thanking yourself for taking the time today to do this practice. Bringing our hands up to our foreheads. You're welcome to either repeat after me or just think it. think good thoughts. Bringing your hands to our mouths, we say good thoughts. And bringing our hands to our hearts, we do good thoughts. Bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Lunchtime Yoga Break. I hope you have a good rest of your day.